Hi everybody, my name is Brian Arrington, and I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, make sure everybody gets in on time, and so let me just check for a second, make sure we're good to go and ready. Yeah, see myself on there, and let's see. Okay, so I wanted to give this mentorship session for you all because my own journey. Why should you listen to me? I'm actually retiring from the Air Force with 20 years, 1 month, and 12 days on July 1st. And I started my transition research about 12 months ago. I found LinkedIn by accident, and it was the single best accident that's happened to me. When I got on there, I found there was a whole lot of resources and different people talking about all these things like American corporate partners and Veterati, and I'm like, what is this stuff they're talking about? So I really dug in deep, started looking at things, and I realized that there's over 40,000 veteran service organizations outside of the base that provide support for us, and we have no idea they even exist. And I thought, well, if this is the case, what else is out there for us? And I did a lot more research and found out there's about 95% of the companies out there we've never heard of. If they aren't advertising on TV, on billboards, if one of your family members doesn't work for them, you've probably never heard of most of these companies. And so the more and more I dug in, the more I realized that if I don't know about all this stuff, and here I am at 19 years, senior NCO, what about all the troops, that I've helped, or let get out of the military and haven't adequately set them up for the civilian workforce? And honestly, it pissed me off. The fact that all these things are out there and the DoD doesn't tell us about it, and we're their target market for all these free resources, and they can't come on base to tell us about it. So I decided to pull together as many resources as I could and put basically all of them in one central location online for free for everybody to access. So the website I'm going to tell you guys now, we're going to go through a bunch of the resources and I'll tell you again at the end, but the website is www.vets, V-E-T-S, the number 2, industry.com. So if you go to that website, every week we populate it with more and more veteran resources for not just you, but for your spouses, your dependents, and it's got just tons of stuff on there. So I want to start off by letting you guys know about the most important resource that you're going to have, not just in your transition, but even starting off if you're a brand new airman or a soldier or Marine. I don't know who else we have in here, but you want to get on a platform called LinkedIn. And I know you're thinking, especially if you haven't heard of this, oh, another social media app. Yeah, it is a social media app, but this is for business leaders, executives, and this is the first place that individuals go to see if you're legit, if you have charisma, if you are somebody that they want to work with, or feel that you present yourself well. So if you think about it, it's the same as like if you had to go to the wing commander every single day. That's how you want to tailor your LinkedIn profile, but with a civilian or corporate spin to it. So as veterans, we actually get 1 free year of LinkedIn Premium, which gives you an advantage over everybody else. So when you log on, you type in LinkedIn Premium for veterans, and it gives you 1 full year access to see different salaries that are out there, what kind of job opportunities. It lets you send what's called in-mails to other people and try to get informational interviews. And there's a lot of things, a lot of terminologies that I'm going to say, and I'm going to explain to you what they are because we don't know, such as elevator pitch. This is what you utilize in order to show and tell somebody what value you can bring to an organization. So value proposition. Elevator pitch enables you within 30 seconds to say who you are, what you've done, and where you want to go. And it's really short and sweet and gets somebody excited to hear more about your life story. So that's one thing they don't teach us. Another thing they don't teach us well is how to write a resume. So I'm going to talk to you tonight about some of the different resources that are out there that are phenomenal to help you, because I'll tell you what, the tongue and quill is not how you write a resume. I don't know where they came up with all that, but the civilian workforce does not accept that as a legit way of trying to get into an organization. You also have to look at networking. So LinkedIn allows you to start building relationships, and for you to get a job, there's a 4% chance that you're actually going to get a job. This is actual stats. 4% chance that you're going to get an interview, by a job board or by going to a job fair. And that kind of hit me hard when I went to my first job fair this winter. And then when I found out about that, and I was having a great time, thought I was doing great, but no, I found that out and couldn't get a job out of that. I realized it's all going to be internal referrals, and you're going to get your internal referrals, which through your networking, and that has worked quite extensively for me. So LinkedIn Premium, free 1 year, and your spouse, if you PCS, every single PCS, your spouse gets a free year, just renewed, so that they can look and try to find jobs across LinkedIn, and have job boards, a whole bunch of other things. Now I want to talk to you about something else. So all of us are eligible for mentors, free mentorship for a year with a company called American Corporate Partners. It's a nonprofit, and they have two features: American Corporate Partners 1 year mentorship program, and then you also have something called ACP AdvisorNet. And AdvisorNet is, let's say you're interested in getting into the music industry, but you don't really know if you have the skill set or the talents to get in there. You can get on a phone call for 20 minutes with somebody within that world, and they will talk to you about what it's like in that organization or in that industry, some of the skills you might need, or certifications if that's the case, or maybe you have to go to a certain school. And you get on as many of those calls as you want, and it's free. It's people who volunteered, who are industry leaders, to talk to you. So they have AdvisorNet for that. And then there's also something called the Women's Veteran Mentorship Program. And if you're a woman veteran who is interested in building your own business, or you're doing it right now, there's a lot of stuff out there. But you can get a free 1 year mentor to assist you with that. Go to different webinar events, different virtual workshops, or if they're in the same town as you, you can actually meet them there, which is really cool. Then there's another mentorship program called Veterati, and what that is you get on for 1 hour on a call. You actually go onto on the website, and you'll look for people who are within the industry that you're interested in, or you think you're interested in, but you're not really quite sure. And this, I know some of you are like, hey, I'm like 5 years, 10 years out. Well, there's a lot more resources on there that you can utilize right now than those who are just transitioning. What's going on, everyone? So what you want to do is you'll find a specific individual that you're like, okay, I want to learn about what it's like to be a commercial truck driver. I heard that they make a lot of money. Or I want to know what it's like to be in the financial world, or building my own business. You can get on Veterati, find somebody who does that, who's volunteered to mentor, get on an hour call, and you can do that 1,000 times a year. It doesn't matter. There's no limitation to it. So that's very helpful for you to kind of focus your transition, or focus even while you're still in. Should I go to school? Is this something that I need to do based on what my career goals are? Or do I want to just start my own business and I don't need to worry about getting an MBA? So all these things are kind of helpful to you. Now I told you a little bit about how the resume, the tongue and quill, is not how you're going to want to do your resume. Well, okay, Brian, what do I use? How do I get into that? There's an organization called Hire Heroes USA, HIRE Heroes, HEROES USA. And what they do is they will actually pair you up one-to-one with a transitioning specialist They usually call you back within 1 day, and they will help you build, not just build your resume, but they hold hiring events throughout the country, virtual workshops, and they will stay with you throughout your whole transition or thereafter until you decide you don't want them anymore, which is really cool. They've got job boards, like tens of thousands of job boards, so they partner with corporate America, tons of organizations out there. So yeah, it's good for you, and your spouse can use them. So if your spouse is looking for a job in the local area, you just PCS'd in, maybe she hasn't had a job in years and doesn't have a resume, they will partner somebody up with your spouse so they can kind of work her through the process and get her where she wants to be. And then that kind of takes me to, for those of you who are transitioning, I'm kind of doing the transitioning piece first, and then go on to everything that everybody can utilize now while they're still in and not transitioning. But you have something called the DoD Skill Bridge program, and some people know about it, but most don't. A lot of commanders don't even know about it. And what this is, it was put out in 2014, and it gives permission from the highest levels of our government, individuals to take 6 months, so up to 179 days of permissive TDY, to where you're not getting charged at all for your regular leave, and you can go anywhere in the country you want, intern with a company of your choice as long as they agree on it. You get paid, you for that whole 6 months, you get paid your military salary, you get your benefits, everything. The only caveat is the company cannot pay for anything for you. No stipend, no business travel reimbursement, nothing like that. But you get to learn the skills of that industry, and hopefully at the end of that time, and I'll give you all a hint on this, you don't want to do the whole 6 months. The name of it is the DoD Skill Bridge program. DoD Skill Bridge, also known as Career Skills Program. So each service calls it the CSP, but the umbrella is the Department of Defense, the DoD Skill Bridge program. It's DoD. There's a DoDI for it. I don't have it memorized, sorry guys. And there's a AFI that actually covers the Career Skills program. Your career skills managers on base know about this. Some of them don't know it as well as others. So like if you go to Joint Base San Antonio, or you go to up at Lewis McChord, they use it a whole lot more than someplace like Cannon or here at Robbins. I was only the 4th person to ever use the Skill Bridge, and the 1st person to ever use Hiring Our Heroes, which I'll talk to you guys in about a minute. But you can use it for going to technical school for that time frame, doing some kind of vocation, or obviously going and working for a company. So just this past, I just graduated from something called Hiring Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program. It's different than Hire Heroes USA. Hiring Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program. And for 3 months, they pair you up based on your interview with a company in that region. So I was here in Atlanta, I'm down at Robbins, and we had UPS, DHL, we had IBM, Viasat, Slalom Consulting, all come and basically interview us. And if you did well in the interview, then you get picked up. So we had a class of about 20. The majority were all Army, and we had 17 Army and 3 Air Force. It's me and then a guy from Dover and a guy from Hill. That was it. So we need to get the word out, especially for commanders, and so that they can allow people to do it. Now, the caveat of this, it's completely up to the commander whether or not they let you utilize the DoD Skill Bridge. That's kind of the downfall. So you have to be within 179 days of separating. The commander, your first field grade officer in your chain of command, who has the authority to write you an Article 15, is the same. Yep, it's just like the internship. Sorry about that. So basically, they can give you that that permission to extend. Now, there is no execution arm for the DoD skill bridge. That's a problem. So it gives you permission to go and intern for a company. The problem is it doesn't teach you how. So there's two organizations out there. I named one, Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program, and the other one is Hire Military. They're both nonprofits, and what they do is they actually will help you, guide you through the process of all the paperwork and whatnot in order for you to get set up with a company. With the goal, getting a job, right? We don't want to just necessarily learn the skills, we want to get the job at the end. And just about everybody in my fellowship got job offers, some of them like $100,000 to $125,000. It's crazy. So something to look at, DoD Skill Bridge, Hire Military, and Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program. So next thing I wanted to talk about was within Hire Our Heroes, there's something, they have also a resume feature to help you out. It's a resume engine. And where they told you Hire Heroes USA, they pair you up one-on-one with a transition specialist. They help you out with your resume, writing it. This, you actually upload your resume to a database, their system, and it converts it into a civilianized resume, but it also takes in all your intangibles, like your critical thinking, your leadership skills, not just your MOS. And it really creates an amazing document that you can use. And you're going to want to have multiple resumes. They don't really teach you this too much about this, but you're going to want to have your master resume, which has everything you've ever done in your career. And then let's say you want to go into marketing. Well, you working the entry control point gate is probably not going to help you with that. But one thing that would is your communication skills, your critical thinking, your attention to detail, your risk management. All those things and qualities would help you, and those things can be put into your resume based on just how many ID cards you've scanned a day. So those are the things that you want to think about and how to articulate and bring it in, and they help you with that. You also have something for those entrepreneurs out there, and this is something you can use. I don't care if you're at E3 all the way up to 06 staying in. It's something called Bunker Labs. So I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs on the page, so that's why I wanted to bring up some of the things that are out there for you guys. So Bunker Labs is in a ton of states across the country, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm gonna pull it up here because I really want you guys to know exactly where they're at. So there's Bunker Labs in Atlanta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, Bay Area, California, Boston, Massachusetts, Bozeman, Montana, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Clarksville, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Detroit, Michigan, Houston, Texas, Knoxville, Tennessee, Los Angeles, Madison, Wisconsin, Memphis, Tennessee, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York City, Omaha, Philly, Phoenix, Arizona, Portland, Oregon, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, San Antonio, San Diego, Seattle, Washington, D.C., and Wilmington, North Carolina. So if you're in any of those locations, literally you can go, and it's usually at night, like on Tuesday or Thursday night, and they pair veterans, you're not transition, just any veteran who wants to open their own business or has opened their own business and wants to get direct support from an entrepreneur or a business leader is already out there. And that's what they do. Like literally, you have a mentor, and once a month you just go in and they support you. They have these labs where you can try out your ideas. They have so many tools and resources. They help you out with your business plan. So if you get on the Small Business Administration website, they also support and help you out with that. And another thing that they do is they have something called, there's an organization called WeWork, and it's a facility that allows you to, it's kind of like an office away from the office. And WeWork has partnered with Bunker Labs, and they offer up to 10 veteran businesses 6 months of co-located space where they can just set up conferences and meetings and bring people in, and use their computers for free, and it's amazing. And WeWorks are all over the world. I mean, if you go to Japan, there's WeWorks there. Korea, it's all over the place. So London, Germany. So you just go on their website on WeWork and see where that's located. Go on Bunker Labs to see which locations they're doing that in. So that's Bunker Labs. Talked about SBA. There's also something called the Coalition for Veteran-Owned Businesses. It's a CVOB. And what these guys do is they will help partner you up with other entrepreneurs, nationwide, worldwide for that matter, to support you and share with you resources that they've used, help you, you can pitch ideas off of them back and forth. And they're specifically for veterans to support us in what we're doing. Veterans who've gotten out, who've been successful, will come back and mentor you guys. And then there's, want to kind of get into the, so this group is amazing. I'm loving us mentoring us, and we kind of know where the baseline for this came from. So there's an organization, pretty new, 2017. It's called Minority Veterans of America. I would strongly urge every single one of you to get involved in this. It is the single voice for minority veterans in the world. It's the only one that we've got. And they're working very, very hard to make sure that we are given the ability to have a voice out there. They do lots of events. They're only in a few states right now. However, they're trying to grow, and they're always looking for field operators to create events within the local community region in order to bring minority vets, the LGBTQ community, all of them. So that's it's really something you guys should look at. But that's Minority Veterans of America. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are interested in education, and I don't know how many of you are interested in free education, especially when you know how to touch your GI Bill. But I know a whole lot of stuff about that. So for those of you who are into technology, there's an organization called VetForce, VETFORCE. It is completely free online, and it provides free training on a software called Salesforce. Now, Salesforce is the leading customer relations management tool that businesses run outside. So if you're looking at making some money, you definitely want to get involved into the Salesforce world. Now, VetForce is completely free for veterans. You log in, you do all these modules at your own pace. They have system administrator and all sorts of other stuff. So go on VetForce, completely free. You can do it, in your downtime. I've done 24 modules, and it just continues to grow. And just take a look at that. If any of you are interested in Microsoft stuff, you have something called the MSSA. Stands for Microsoft Software and Systems Academy. Completely free. However, the caveat is this is really more for transitioning service members because you need your commander's approval to do it. But it's it's a 18-week, or you can break it into 2 9-week terms, and it's free Microsoft training. And at the end of it, Microsoft themselves, if they don't actually hire you, they set you up with, they have 400 partners that they basically source their graduates of this academy to. So it's almost like, if you love technology in that IT world, you're almost guaranteed to get a job. I think they have a 96% placement rate out of the MSSA. So that's the Microsoft Software and Systems Academy if you're into tech. There's another organization about tech. It's called With You, With Me. Free IT training online. They completely, I think they started in Australia. Really weird, but they support veterans 100%. I think they had 700,000 veterans that they've supported over the years. Some crazy number. And completely free IT certifications, things of that nature. There's my it's what's near and dear to my heart. So I'm getting my MBA right now through Syracuse University, and I'm also doing an MS in Business Analytics. I've already got a master's degree in management, and I haven't paid a single dime for school. Now, Syracuse University is a huge supporter of the veteran community back to World War I. And they have the only one of their kind in the nation. Is they have what's called the Institute of Veterans and Military Families. Now, the IVMF, for short, has a program called Onward to Opportunity. Now, Onward to Opportunity is funded by J.P. Morgan Chase. And J.P. Morgan gives a lot of money every year to veterans. I mean, crazy millions and millions of dollars. So they actually will pay, if you're within 6 months of getting out of service, you and your spouse, and you've already transitioned out, you can still use it, completely free certifications. So I'm talking like the big industry leaders. Your PMP is free. Yeah, PMP, at $500. Yeah, so the links, so I'm going to give you my website, www.vets, industry.com, and that has every single one of these veteran resources I'm talking about now, along with about 60 more. And then every week it's updated with more and more free veteran resources. It's a free online library. It's your library. I made it 4 weeks ago, completely free for vets. Go on. I don't make any money. Matter of fact, I'm losing money because every month I pay for the site, and I'm going to continue to do that because it's just the right thing to do. There's no advertisements on there, nothing. It's just information. So, sorry about that. So, going back, Onward to Opportunity. You can get your PMP completely paid for, 6 months of training, and the test free. JP Morgan will pay for the test. You have Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. So if anyone's interested in getting into continuous process improvement, consulting, that's a lot what consultants do, and I learned about that, and it's one of the things I'm working on right now with Accenture. Yes, I'm gonna try to post this afterwards and make sure I don't mess it up. So gonna make sure that there's a ton of IT certifications on Onward to Opportunity website as well. CompTIA Plus, man, there's so many of them. I'm not an IT guy, so I apologize for not knowing what all the certs are. But CISSP, whatever. You guys are probably gonna be laughing at me after this, but you get the picture. It's like 15 IT certs. And then you have, if for any HR people out there, you have your SPHR. So you can go and get your human resources degree or certification, completely paid for as well. So, I mean, it's just amazing, and there's no limit to it. So that's the Onwards to Opportunity program through the Institute of Veterans and Military Families. Now, there's something that just came up this year. It was in Atlanta. I was talking to the guy. My website is industry.com. Now, you have to do the www because we're so new that Google isn't even populating it in the front page. But that'll take you right to it. And you'll know it's the American flag there. It's, people first, veterans always. So, this organization that I found up in Atlanta, yep, thank you, Bianca. So this organization that I kind of learned about when I was up in Atlanta, it's called Merging Vets and Players. And I was like, what is this? MVP. I had no idea. And I went and talked to him. It's an organization that pairs professional athletes who have retired with current veterans who are all combat veterans. So, and now combat veterans means anybody, all right, this according to them, anybody who has served overseas during a campaign, has received imminent danger or tax-free pay, or has the campaign medal. That's it. Those are the only requirements. You don't have to have gotten shot at. You don't have to anything. All right, so you are considered a combat veteran under MVP if you meet any of those criteria. Now, they're only in 4 cities right now, but they are growing. And we're talking like big name professional athletes that come, and what they do is they go to a gym with tons of veterans, and they have huddles. They talk about some of the issues and the transitioning issues they've gone through, or whatever the case may be, or hurdles in their career, and then they do just a ton of physical activities, whether it be MMA, wrestling, or boxing, or whatever, and it's just a big camaraderie. And you get to meet professional athletes who really care about you and what you're about, and establish relationships. So that's MVP, all right, merging vets and players. They're in Atlanta, Chicago, LA, and Vegas right now. But go on their website, send them a message, say, hey, we want to see you guys in such and such location. Let them know you guys want to see them, and maybe they'll set up an opportunity or operation there, or maybe they'll ask you, hey, can you run this for us? And you can get some good looks that way. There's another organization I want to tell you guys about. It's not very well known, and it was the one thing that opened my eyes to everything that's out there, and it's an organization called Centurion Military Alliance. Now, they are out of San Antonio, but they travel. They do a mobile training team, and it's a one-day transitioning seminar for veterans. And I'm going to tell you, I've been to 2 TAPS classes already. I talked my way into an executive level TAPS because I'm only a Master Sergeant, and I also went to a regular TAPS because I wanted to see what the difference was. And I'm telling you, Centurion Military Alliance completely overshadows anything and everything in the full 5 days of each class that I got. I learned how to do an elevator pitch, what it was. I learned how to do an informational interview, which I'm going to tell you guys about, which is very, very important. I learned about the STAR method, okay? Situation, task, action, result. This is how you actually will phrase every single response to an interview question. And it's very, very slick how it works. And that's something that I'm probably going to write an article on, post it on our website in the blog section, so you guys can kind of see what it is, what that's about. And then the resume, like just talking about what it is companies look for. And these guys, I mean, you're talking recruiters. These guys are veterans, a veteran-owned business, Centurion Military Alliance. Amazing people, Shantae Myers, Jared Myers, and Dr. Hall. Now, after that Centurion Military Alliance that I did, that seminar, 3 weeks after I found LinkedIn, I found CMA by accident. It was at Benning, so I drove all the way to Benning, took a day of leave, because somebody said, man, you got to try this. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I went out there, best decision of my life. Jared became one of my mentors, and through him, I've built a huge, I'll say, empire of individuals, influencers. It's been amazing, and redefined, branded myself. So if you get a chance, Centurion Military Alliance, go to their website, find out where they're traveling to next, completely free seminar. And they also bring in corporate partners to help with interviewing techniques during it, and you could even drop your resume. They want you to bring a resume to possibly get a job out of it. And these are all people who care about veterans, or else they wouldn't be there. So check that out. Let's see. Other thing I wanted to talk about was something that is just an amazing organization. Now, I know not all of you are in Georgia, but there's an organization, for those who are, called Vetlanta, and they're trying to grow into kind of other states as well, where people are trying to copy them for other states. They're not necessarily trying to move anywhere else, but they bring together veterans, veteran advocates, and nonprofit groups, all together to support, our desire to work on our own success. They have 5 different pillars, so financial literacy, talk about housing, obviously employment, and it's a great networking event. So for those of you in Georgia or Alabama, Florida who want to come up, I'm telling you, it's amazing. On May 7th, there's this huge summit going on. We have Mercedes-Benz Stadium on lock. And when I say on lock, like last night I was at Arthur Blank's family business, and his guy, the CEO of Arthur Blank's Foundation, and I'll kind of tell you who that is, Steve Cannon, who's prior Air Force, runs Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Atlanta Falcons, Top Golf Pro Superstore, I messed that up, Pro Golf Superstore, and Arthur Blanks had sold Home Depot in '99. This guy is amazing, and he loves veterans. So we have Mercedes-Benz Stadium where the Falcons play completely free for the evening to support veterans in whatever stage of their career is. You don't have to be transitioning, but we have 40 nonprofits that are coming that's going to tell us everything that they do for us, and it's great. So I want to make sure I have time for questions, things of that nature. So those are the big ones. Just to give you a quick lowdown, I talked about LinkedIn Premium. You're getting your free 1-year access to that. Your spouse, every time she travels with you PCSing, she gets a new free 1-year LinkedIn Premium membership, which is so much better than your basic. We talked about American Corporate Partners and how you can get a free 1-year mentor from a Fortune 500 company that supports you in your career decision, your trajectory, how to brand yourself. Phenomenal. They also have something called AdvisorNet, which gives you an ability to make a 20-minute phone call with some kind of executive or mentor that's out there, whatever industry you want. So if you want to talk to somebody about construction, and then 40 minutes later, hey, let me talk to someone about finance, you can do that and learn everything you can about every single industry that's out there. Then we have Veterati, which is another one. It's a 1-hour block where you can pick who you want to talk to. Same kind of concept. We talked about Hire Heroes USA. They pair you up one-to-one transition with a transition specialist to assist you in identifying what career goals you're interested in, and then help tailoring your resume to those goals. They also hold career fairs nationwide, webinars, virtual workshops. They have job boards, like tens of thousands of job boards. Remember what I told you, job boards aren't necessarily the best way you want to go about getting a job. You want to use internal referrals. That's going to be key. If you need to learn more about that, how to initiate and get sponsors within companies, come talk to me, because I've done it very, very well. And then the services don't go away unless you decide, you tell them, okay, I don't want you guys anymore. I'm going to go on my own. Or you get a job and maybe you don't need them anymore. So then we talked about DoD SkillBridge, how that's been around since 2014, but most bases don't know about it. Nobody tells anybody about anything anymore, and it's completely free policy to allow you to take your last 6 months in the military and go and learn how to be a civilian, completely getting paid for while you're on active duty still. I wish more people knew about it, and I'm working on that. I actually built a PowerPoint presentation. I'll make it available for the UMU admins to send out. I'm also going to post that on this next update on our website. That way you guys have it. And it's the DoD SkillBridge, and talks about Hire Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program and Hire Military. We talked about Hire Military. They're a little bit different than Hire Heroes. The problem with Hiring Heroes is they can only take on 20 to 40 service members, basically a class, a cohort. There's only 3 cohorts a year, and if you don't fall in that window and you don't pass the interviews, you can't get in. But Hire Military does it for 4 months, and it's just for individuals, so they'll just let individuals find or talk to them about finding where they want to work, and then they go out and they connect. Like, I think they just got Adidas to jump in with them and some other things. So pretty sweet. We talked about Bunker Labs, so any entrepreneurs out there who are really serious about whether or not you do it as your side hustle now, you can use Bunker Labs. If you're an E3, E4, it doesn't matter. Then we have Coalition of Veteran-Owned Businesses, and they'll support and bring people together in order to support and show you what kind of resources they used. Kind of like it's just a mentor. The Small Business Administration is another great one. We talked about Minority Veterans of America, how it's a huge voice for the minority community and any minority veteran. And so they're really working on getting that established nationwide, so you can be on the front line of that. We talked about, actually we didn't. So I meant to talk to you about the Student Veterans of America. So those of you who are going to school, join Student Veterans of America. They have amazing networking events. Like they just had their national one down in Florida. There's thousands of student veterans down there. Talking about tabling, set up companies, like big companies. I'm talking about like EY, Disney, going down there trying to hire the student veterans that go down there. So, and you don't even have to be getting out the military. You just establish relationships with the hiring managers and the recruiters that come. And I tell you what, you keep that relationship going through LinkedIn, and when it's time for you to kick back and say, okay, deuces, you're going to have an opportunity to roll right into a great company because you've established the relationships with them years before you're even ready to get out. Or you have an option in case something happens and you have to get out. Well, hey, I've got some support. Then we talked about VetForce, free Salesforce training for you all. It's amazing. I mean, it's just another thing. It's for free. You might as well get it if you got nothing else going on, right? We talked about Microsoft Software and Systems Academy, 18-week course, or you can split it up into two 9-week terms, and Microsoft will either hire you or they will support getting you hired on by one of their 400 partner organizations. Pretty cool. And then we talked about With You, With Me, which is another organization that supports and gives you free IT training, so you can get certified in different areas. We talked about the Institute of Veterans and Military Families, their Onward to Opportunity, which really is just, I mean, it's a free cert that's going to increase your value proposition by $10,000 to $20,000 easily. PMPs, project managers, they make anywhere from 80 to 100. And one good thing about that is there's actually something called VetStone. It's on the website. I didn't really want to get into it too deep, but VetStone will take your entire resume and it will help you to identify, not help you, it'll do it for you. It'll pull out all your project management stuff that you've done and get it ready to go, so when you're ready to apply for your PMP cert, if you pass the test, or to take the test, you've got everything set up to show, hey, I've done it. So that's called VetStone. See, then we talked about merging vets and players, professional players coming to a location. There's 4 locations that they're in right now, and helping transitioning, or excuse me, I keep saying transitioning veterans because I'm transitioning. I'm in that mindset. My apologies. That help combat veterans to identify, maybe internal struggles they're going through, and just, beat the heck out of each other and have a good time. So some physical training in. Talked about Centurion Military Alliance and the amazing one-day seminar that they provide. That you'll get. I know this is being recorded, but you're going to get a lot out of that, probably more so than TAPS. So if you can get through a Centurion Military Alliance seminar, do that. And then I think that was it. I think that's all we talked about. So open up for any questions. I got time. I'm here in lodging. I'm retiring next week. I got nothing to do. So anyone have any questions? Nothing yet. Okay. So the website that I have is www.vets2industry.com. Every single week, and I mean it, every single week, I put out an additional. Oh, thank you, Bianca. So every single week we put out additional group of resources. I know you probably have seen some of my posts on the UMU, and as long as you guys want to, I'll keep doing that. How you get to this? Okay, so for the Centurion seminar, you're going to go on their website, and they have basically a breakdown of their schedule. So literally, you can, let's say, I don't know where you are, Tanika, but let's say you're in Scott Air Force Base, and they're having one in San Antonio. You're like, well, man, I really want to go to this, but maybe you want to go to San Antonio anyway. How am I going to go? Well, it's up to you to take leave, fly down, whatever. But let's say they're flying up to Scott here in VA. Okay, you know what? They do go to DC. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up. I know this is very unprofessional, but I'm trying to do this at the same time. I'm gonna pull up their website and see where they're going to next. They do a lot of things in Florida, and they also they come to Georgia every once in a while. They're really big in Texas, so if you're in Texas, you're golden. If you're in Texas and you don't use Centurion Military Alliance, I'm gonna come out there and slap you in the face, because there is no reason why you don't use it. Take the day of leave, go and enjoy this program. So let's see, CMA. Let's see, where is their next workshop? Of course, when you're not prepared, then all that stuff comes up. And then also, if you, another thing is, for these organizations, actually I'm going to tell you about one more, because you guys deserve it, and I can't believe I didn't mention it before, but when you guys become alumni of these organizations, they don't just drop you. So if you go through Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program, guess what? You get a pin, and you have the entire nationwide network of alumni who have been through that program, and all you have to do is reach out and say, hey, listen, I see that you're at Facebook. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like there, how you transitioned in? Was it the corporate fellowship program that helped you out? And 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, especially if they're a veteran, they're like, hey man, yeah, yo, it's awesome. Let me show you exactly how to do this. And they get you right into, the pipeline for veteran hiring. I've got recruiters right now with Comcast, PricewaterhouseCooper. I've got, let's see, Booz Allen Hamilton. I've got T-Mobile. There's so many organizations out there. KPMG is another one. Slalom Recruiting. Just Wells Fargo. So if you build the relationships, it just becomes amazing. I had literally, I think I showed Maurice earlier. I had 4 different companies reach out to me this morning alone because of something I did last night. Now I'm also graduated from what's called 4Block, and if you get an opportunity to use 4Block, the actual in-person networking, you have to do it. Every single week for the past 12 weeks, I have been physically escorted to the floors that none of us can get into at J. Walter Thompson, Citigroup, Comcast, and if you've been to Comcast in Atlanta, they overlook SunTrust Park, so you're actually looking on the baseball field, and if you get a job there, you can just work and watch the day games going on. Completely crazy. You're like, I don't know, 300 feet away from the outfield. It's crazy. See, where else do we go? We went to T-Mobile, their headquarters, Star companies. A lot of these places I hadn't even heard of before. ADP. I didn't know that they were like the highest, the biggest payroll company in the world. And J. Walter Thompson. I was like, I don't know what this is. And here I am going for a marketing degree. For those of you who don't know, J. Walter Thompson's been around for 140 years. They're the biggest marketing and advertising in the world, and they own the Marine Corps advertising campaign. Matter of fact, they're just renewing it right now. The director here, J. Walter Thompson in Atlanta, he's at Camp Lejeune right now, finalizing the details. It's crazy. 4Block, FOURBLOCK, 4Block. So what they do, this is a nonprofit. So if you're a student, all right, if you've gone to school at all, you can go and you learn about branding, you learn about transitioning. I mean, it's amazing. You get to network. It's really a networking event with you learning how to do a resume. They show you and they work with you. They teach you how to tailor it. They teach you how to network. And you learn from not just the instructors that are all veterans, but from the veterans in companies, the executives, and the HR and the recruiters on how to get into their companies. Like, they teach you this stuff. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. And there's so many veteran service organizations out there that want to give us, free services. I mean, you can get a free suit coming in and a free dress coming out of the military. It's crazy, guys. Look this stuff up. And so every week we're putting more and more stuff on the website for free. Please don't be like every other service member who walks out the gate and forgets to turn around and yell back to the base everything that they see on the outside. That's why I'm doing this, because I was pretty pissed off. Any retiree who's been using these services and hasn't made a concerted effort to come back and talk to the vets, I'm sorry if you get a little butthurt, but shame on you. Just come back and you talk to people. And until every single troop, not just airmen, but every single person in the DoD knows about these resources that are free, that are out there, I'm not going to stop. So please help. Share my website. I don't make any money off of it. Matter of fact, I spend money on it, on the site, and I will continue to do so. I'm not getting any revenue stream. I'm not getting any placement. So if I link you up with somebody else, I don't get a referral. It's just completely linking people up, and hopefully everybody gets a job on the outside. There's 220 to 240,000 transitioning service members a year. Let that sink in. 220 to 240,000 transitioning service members. That's just mind-boggling. And if you look at the people that are able to utilize the resources like Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship, the most they can take on is $800 to $1,200 a year. So to contact me, the best way to contact me is to get on LinkedIn. Now, I know many of you probably don't have LinkedIn, don't want LinkedIn. I'm going to tell you, get over it. Get LinkedIn. You don't have to put a photo up right away. You don't have to connect with anybody else but me. Connect with me, and I'm going to provide you what's called a cheat sheet. And there's an individual by the name of Michael Quinn, who is a retired veteran, and he goes around the country, phenomenal guy, and helps to brand people and teach them how to use LinkedIn and how to brand themselves. Now, I have a cheat sheet that he made. It's a 9-page step-by-step guide to making your LinkedIn profile phenomenal. I will send that to every single person who connects with me, help them through their LinkedIn. Now, I only have so much bandwidth, but I mean, ask Maurice. Today, I was helping 4 people out on, with their website or their LinkedIn profile at the same time that I'm fielding calls from Wells Fargo, and I'm out processing at the same time. So I'm going to help as many people who wants to reach out, but just realize that, I'm going for my MBA right now. I'm transitioning myself. I'm helping as many people as I can. I'm running the website. I'm doing the Vetlanta marketing for the summit coming up on the 7th of May. I'm also a mentor on the National Black MBA Association Atlanta chapter. So if you're going for your MBA and you want to help out some minority scholars, become a mentor. Join the National Black MBA Association Atlanta chapter, and don't let anyone tell you you can't do this stuff. All right, so yeah, see, Maurice, I was in overdrive. I don't stop. I wanted to make sure I use as many resources as possible. So I'm going to tell you, I personally have used American Corporate Partners. You guys probably saw the video on UMU that I posted. Okay, That's legit. Matter of fact, I had ACP reach out to me today, thanking me for that, and then saying they want to do some stuff with the alumni, and they think I'd be a great spokesperson. So they want to talk to me about that. That came right from their alumni director today. I never even met the guy before. The guy's named Bernard. So I use ACP. I've used Centurion Military Alliance. I've used Hire Our Heroes USA for my resume. I use Hire Our Heroes Corporate Fellowship Program. See, obviously Atlanta networking events. I use 4Block. I have not used Veterati, but that's because I know how to connect with people on LinkedIn and do informational interviews, so I don't really need to call people. But that, if you don't have that understanding, you gotta use Veterati and you gotta use ACP AdvisorNet, along with ACP, the year-long mentorship. Oh, I've used LinkedIn Premium. Matter of fact, my LinkedIn Premium just ended, and I elected to pay for a full year because it was that helpful to me. So I hope it's 8:56. So hopefully I didn't waste a lot of your time. I don't have to get off. I want to be a good steward of your guys' time and answer any other questions you guys might have. I wish there was more people that were watching this live, but once I hit finish, I will try not to mess it up and try to save this, and hopefully we can post it. And if it gives me opportunity to posting it, I'll just post it and see if the admins will let it go on. Any questions? There's a lot more resources. I just gave you the tip of the spear. I'm telling you, there's so much out there for PTSD. If you have some issues and you want to go on free excursions like fishing, taking a plane ride to DC, free stuff. I mean, there's so much on the website that I can't go through everything. A lot of women veterans of America, Women Veterans Initiative. If your spouse, this is important, I'm sorry guys, if your spouse has a certification like nursing, a doctor, lawyer, or teacher, right now there's bills all over the U.S. There's 34 locations right now that are that have approved what's called reciprocity. So it basically allows allows your spouse to practice in that other state. I have on my website the actual, under the dependents area, every state and what certifications they allow, and for basically concurrent receipt. So if you've got it in one state, you can practice in another state. Not all states have accepted it. Some states will accept it if you can show something else, but there's a whole lot of states that are accepting law degrees from military spouses who PCS, because you don't think about it. You get a law degree in Florida, you go to Texas, you can't use it. Well, now you can if you're a military spouse, and that's fact. Florida and Texas both have the reciprocity. But if you go on my website, you go under the dependents, it'll show the certifications, a couple different ones. You can look at what certifications are needed for certain professional careers, and also there's another link that'll show you every single state and if they've accepted the bill or not. So much out there, guys. I don't want to talk your ear off. I think I already have, but I'll give you guys another 30 seconds. If anyone wants to ask me a question, I'll stay on, but if I don't see anything, then I'll get off. Okay, Bianca, I will accept. Probably got 1,000 of them. But I stay on LinkedIn, so I am always on LinkedIn, always got notifications popping up, and I respond to everything. Yeah, got 2 connection requests. Just watched. Gotcha. Alright, so I just accepted. If you sent me a message, that's another good thing I'm glad you said. I still got 8 people on here. On LinkedIn, very, very important. Do not just hit connect, okay? The majority of LinkedIn people, business leaders, they shun anyone who doesn't have a profile picture, and also anyone who just hits connect. You want to do what's called personalized invitation. So there's usually right next to the connect button, there's 3 ellipses, and so need to find somebody who I'm not connected with. So you got something called a message, and it's kind of hard to see. So there would be a connect, and then there's usually like a more or ellipse. Click on that, and it says personalized invite, and you click on that, and then you mention something like, I was looking at your profile. I saw that you're a veteran in the financial space. I'm really interested in getting into that at some point. I would love to see if you had 10 minutes where I can have an informational interview with you. And everybody outside of the military knows what an informational interview is. It's us that doesn't know that. So I would like to have a chat with you about what it's like, how your transition was, if you have some free time, and do that to like 1,000 people. I mean, it's obviously not at the same time, and do that with recruiters too. Hey, I'm interested in this industry, but I'm not really sure if it's for me. Do you have 15, 20 minutes to get on a phone call and talk about it? And most of the time, people say yes, because what do people like talking about? Themselves. So if you show any bit of interest, or you have something in common, like, hey, oh wait, I just saw that we were stationed at the same place together. We must have missed each other, didn't know each other, or hey, we're both alumni of the same school, we're vets. I'd love to talk to you, build that connection. That's the way to do it. That's how to build your network. All right, so that's important. Do not hit connect. Okay. Make sure you do personalized invite, and never ever ever, when somebody responds to something, use the pre-made responses. All right, people see that and they think you're lazy, or they think you don't care. So make sure that you write everything personalized. Don't use their stuff. Is the informational interview formatting website? I'm glad you asked me that. So if you go on the website and you go under my blog section, 3 weeks after I had found LinkedIn and I started working, like on my transition, I learned what an informational interview was, and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever, and it works, and it's so easy. On the blog, I said it's called Informational Interview, a Success Story. So I wrote an article specifically about informational interviews. So that's on there. There's another one that I wrote that's on there. It's called How Can I Help? Please read that one, because that kind of gives you a just understanding of my personality and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and what I hope that everybody else will start doing. Basically, I live by the mantra, how can I help, pay it forward. So you'll see a lot of my posts and texts about that. Matter of fact, yesterday I had a friend of mine that I was in NCO Academy with. He's a senior now. Not mad at you, Scott. Well, I know he's not in this group. I'm only master, and he is transitioning next year. He's a shirt, and he's like, man, I don't really know. I kind of want to go into human science or exercise management in Tampa. Do you know anyone? And I'm like, no, but hold on. I posted something on LinkedIn. You guys will see it when you connect with me. And within 24 hours, I had 3,600 views of that one post. I had over 27 comments on there, and like 40 likes. And he is already set up with a company in Tampa for an internship next summer. That was in 24 hours, guys. I'm telling you, connect with me. I will get you squared away, get your LinkedIn squared away, and make sure that you have the tools you need to brand yourself effectively, figure out what you want to do, and then articulate your value proposition out there, because they don't teach us any of this stuff, and it's criminal. But my caveat is, everything I'm doing, make sure you guys pay it forward, okay? Share the links, share the information, don't hoard it, okay? So, any other questions? Only got 3 of you left. Alright, well, I'll see you all on LinkedIn. If you have any questions that you forgot, shoot it to me on LinkedIn. I'll answer it or I'll pop it in the UMU group. All right. Great talking with you guys, and hope this was beneficial. All right. Bye.